Every morning, you wake up to the same opponent. And it's not your boss, your competition, or the economy. It's you, the lazy you, the doubting you, the one who wants comfort more than growth. And every choice you make decides which version wins. This isn't about beating others. It's about beating the person in the mirror. This is the fight of your life. It's you versus you. When most people think of competition, they think of rivals, opponents, and enemies out there. They think of business competitors stealing market share, athletes battling for trophies, or classmates competing for grades. But the most relentless competitor you will ever face does not live out there. He lives in your mirror. Every morning, when you wake up, the person staring back at you is the one you have to defeat. That version of you carries your habits, both the ones that serve you and the ones that destroy you. He knows your weaknesses because he is you. He knows the perfect excuses that will make you quit. He knows exactly when to whisper, "Take it easy. You've done enough." And here's the truth. You can outwork every rival, dominate every external challenge, and still lose the war if you lose to the person in the mirror. Napoleon Hill wrote about the concept of definiteness of purpose, the burning desire that fuels all achievement. But he also made something clear. Purpose without self-mastery leads to sabotage. How can you achieve greatness if your own habits pull you backward every time you take a step forward? To win against the person in the mirror, you must be brutally honest with yourself. No excuses, no sugarcoating. Every day ask, did I beat the me from yesterday? If the answer is no, you have work to do. The beautiful part? When you make this battle internal, you gain complete control. You can't control the economy, your competitors, or the weather, but you can control whether you trained harder, learned more, and made better choices than you did the day before. When you commit to beating the person in the mirror, you commit to endless growth. Because as soon as you become a better version of yourself, that new you becomes the next opponent. It's a fight you can never fully win, but in that fight lies the path to becoming unstoppable. In today's world, comparison is poison. Social media is filled with highlight reels, perfectly edited glimpses of other people's lives. You see their success, their joy, their wins, but you rarely see the years of grind, the late nights, the failures, and the tears behind it. And yet, many people measure their worth against these illusions. They feel small because someone else appears to be ahead. They abandon their path because someone else's progress looks faster. But here's the reality. The only valid comparison you can make is between you and you. Napoleon Hill often said that the starting point of all achievement is desire. But desire loses its power when it is based on envy. If your hunger to grow comes from trying to match someone else's pace, you will burn out. Why? Because you're chasing a moving target you'll never catch. Instead, focus on yesterday's you. Ask yourself, am I wiser than I was yesterday? Did I make better choices? Did I take one step closer to my vision? If the answer is yes, you've already won. You see, progress is personal. A runner who finishes in 10 minutes today, but ran in 12 minutes yesterday, is making progress, even if someone else finishes in 8 minutes. The external scoreboard doesn't matter if your internal scoreboard shows growth. This mindset does something powerful. It removes the pressure of competition with the world and replaces it with the joy of competing with yourself. You no longer feel defeated by someone else's success. You feel inspired by it, but committed to your own pace. Here's the paradox. When you stop obsessing over others and start obsessing over your own progress, you actually begin to accelerate. Energy that was once wasted on jealousy or doubt is now directed into action. And over time, those small personal wins compound into massive transformation. So the next time you're tempted to measure your life against someone else's highlight reel, remember this: their journey is theirs, your journey is yours. The only question worth asking is, did you beat the you from yesterday? Every battle has its weapons. A soldier has his sword. A painter has his brush. A musician has his instrument. But in the lifelong battle of you versus you, the greatest weapon you can wield is self-discipline. Napoleon Hill wrote, "Self-discipline begins with the mastery of your thoughts. If you do not control your thoughts, you cannot control your needs." And in the arena of personal growth, controlling your thoughts is just the first round. You must also control your actions, your time, and your habits. Think of self-discipline as your armor. Without it, you are exposed. You become easy prey for procrastination, distraction, and temptation. With it, you are protected against the old you who wants to keep you comfortable, lazy, and stagnant. Self-discipline is not about punishment. It is about alignment. It is making your daily actions match your deepest goals. It is showing up when you don't feel like it, training when you'd rather rest, studying when you'd rather scroll, and saying no to what you want now for the sake of what you want most. Here's the truth. In the battle of you versus you, the weaker you is cunning. It will disguise laziness as self-care. It will dress up procrastination as patience. It will whisper, "You deserve a break," when what you really deserve is the result you've been working for. Self-discipline shuts that voice down. It tells you, do it anyway. And here's the magic. The more you exercise self-discipline, the stronger it becomes. Like a muscle, it grows with use. At first, it feels heavy, but over time, doing the right thing, even when it's hard, becomes second nature. Without self-discipline, talent wastes away. With self-discipline, even average talent becomes unstoppable. There is a quiet, seductive place where nothing hurts, nothing challenges you, and nothing changes. It's called the comfort zone. And if you're not careful, it will be the place where your dreams go to die. Napoleon Hill often spoke about definiteness of purpose and the need to act boldly in pursuit of it. But here's the problem. The comfort zone keeps you still. It makes you settle for good enough, and good enough is the sworn enemy of great. Your comfort zone feels safe because it's familiar. It's your daily routine, your current habits, your usual circle of people, your predictable outcomes. But it's also where opportunities never happen. Growth cannot exist where discomfort is avoided. You have to understand something. Every meaningful achievement in your life will require you to step outside that zone. The job you dream of, it will require skills you don't yet have. The body you want, it will require workouts that make you sweat, burn, and ache. The business you imagine, it will require risks that make your stomach turn. The comfort zone is ruled by the old you. It's where the weaker version of yourself holds the throne, trying to convince you that safety is success, but in reality, it's a trap. The great achievers, in business, sports, art, and life, all share one trait. They learn to make discomfort their ally. They trained themselves to feel at home in the unknown. They understood that pain is not a signal to stop, but a sign they are growing. The moment you step out of your comfort zone, you meet a new version of yourself, a stronger version, a bolder version. And here's the beautiful part. The more you expand that zone, the more your life expands with it. But make no mistake, leaving your comfort zone is not a one-time event. It is a daily choice. Every day, the old you will try to pull you back to safety. Every day, you must resist. The comfort zone is the graveyard of potential. People often wait for big victories before they allow themselves to feel proud. They think success is something that happens in massive leaps. The new job, the championship trophy, the $1 million deal. But in the battle of you versus you, those big moments are the result, not the process. The real secret lies in small, daily wins. Napoleon Hill taught that success comes to those who become success conscious. This means your mind must be trained to expect, recognize, and create success. And the easiest way to do that is through consistent, achievable victories every single day. A small win might be waking up on time instead of hitting snooze. It might be choosing the healthy meal over the quick junk food. It might be reading 10 pages of a book instead of scrolling through endless noise online. These small wins are not just actions, they are declarations. Every time you win a small battle against the old you reinforce your identity as a person who takes action, who follows through, who refuses to quit. And here's the beauty. Small wins compound. One disciplined morning turns into a week. 1 week of consistent effort turns into a month. A month of momentum turns into a year of transformation. When you think about climbing a mountain, the peak feels overwhelming. But if you focus on taking just one step and then another, the summit becomes inevitable. In You versus You, small wins are your training ground. They build your confidence, your resilience, and your belief that you can handle bigger challenges. Each one makes the new you stronger and the old you weaker. So don't underestimate them. In fact, celebrate them. Because small wins don't just lead to big victories. They are the big victories in disguise. If the battle of You versus You were a war, your mind would be the general, the one deciding whether you march forward to victory or retreat to defeat. Napoleon Hill famously said, "You are the master of your fate, the captain of your soul, because you have the power to control your own thoughts." This is not poetic fluff. It's the core truth of self-mastery. Your mind has the ability to create or destroy your future long before you take a single action. Every habit, every decision, every result begins with a thought. If those thoughts are weak, fearful, or doubtful, your actions will be hesitant. If your thoughts are strong, determined, and purposeful, your actions will be powerful. But here's the challenge. The old you lives in your mind too. It knows how to plant seeds of doubt, to replay past failures, to whisper, "You're not ready." If you let those seeds grow, they will strangle your progress before it even begins. That's why mental discipline is as important as physical discipline. Feeding your mind with empowering ideas is like sharpening your sword before battle. You read books that inspire you. You surround yourself with people who lift you higher. You replace negative self-talk with questions like, "How can I make this work?" instead of, "What if I fail?" And when fear shows up, and it will, you don't let it drive the car. You acknowledge it, but you keep your hands on the wheel. Your mind can be your ally, giving you clarity, focus, and courage. Or it can be your enemy, drowning you in hesitation and regret. The difference lies in which thoughts you choose to nurture. Train your mind to see possibilities, to expect progress, and to believe in your own strength. Because in You versus You, the side your mind chooses will decide the war. In the early stages of self-improvement, most people make the same mistake. They go all in for a short burst. They work out for 3 hours one day, then take the next 4 days off. They set massive goals, work like a machine for a week, and then burn out. It feels exciting in the moment, but excitement fades, and what's left is reality. Napoleon Hill warned against relying on sudden bursts of enthusiasm without the discipline to sustain them. He understood that consistency is the true mark of a champion. Think of a dripping faucet. One drop at a time doesn't seem like much, but over time it can fill an entire bucket, carve stone, or even break through metal. That is the power of steady effort. In the battle of You versus You, the old you thrives on inconsistency. It wants you to be a sprinter in a marathon, to exhaust yourself quickly so it can pull you back to comfort. The new you plays the long game. It doesn't matter if today's progress feels small. It matters that you showed up. Consistency builds trust with yourself. Every time you follow through, you prove to your own mind that your word means something, and that trust becomes unshakable confidence. Intensity has its place. There will be days when you push to your limits, but if you want real, lasting transformation, focus on showing up every day rather than showing off once in a while. A single workout won't get you fit. A single day of reading won't make you wise. But doing it daily, even imperfectly, will transform you in ways that one massive effort never could. Remember, intensity impresses people. Consistency builds empires. The human mind is clever. It can rationalize almost anything. Left unchecked, it will find a way to excuse every missed opportunity, every broken promise, every failure to act. That's why in You versus You, one of the most powerful tools you can wield is accountability. Napoleon Hill spoke about the mastermind principle, surrounding yourself with people who challenge and uplift you. Accountability is the personal version of that principle. It's having someone or something that forces you to stay true to your word, even when you don't feel like it. When you are accountable to no one, the old you has free rein. It whispers, "Skip today, no one will know." And it's right, no one else might know, but you will. And each time you let yourself off the hook, you weaken your own credibility. Accountability turns that around. It creates a healthy pressure that transforms intention into action. It can take many forms: a coach who tracks your progress, a training partner who expects you to show up, a public declaration of your goals so your word is on the line, even a simple checklist that stares you in the face every day until it's done. The key is to create a system where quitting is harder than continuing. Accountability is not about shame, it's about standards. It's about deciding that your goals are too important to leave to chance, too vital to depend on fleeting motivation. Over time, you'll notice something incredible. What starts as external accountability becomes internal accountability. You no longer need someone else to push you because you've built the muscle of self-respect. You refuse to let yourself down.